Hello everyone, welcome. I'm Karina Shines and I am here to do our September forecast. So I am going to drop in and open up my channel, ask for guidance and insight to come through for us that will be relevant for this collective, you, me, anybody tuning into this for the month of September 2026. So the way that my channel works, or the way that I kind of go about it, is that I like to go through my clairvoyance first. So I start by tuning into an image or a scene that I can see in my sort of inner image channel. And at first it tends to be like this image and that image, and it's like a few things and they don't always seem related. And then as the channeling progresses, my other clair abilities start to kind of open up more, particularly like claircognizance, clairaudience, so knowing things, hearing things, and then it all starts to kind of weave together: the knowing, the hearing, the seeing, the feeling, the sensing, all the good things. So bear with me for a few moments while I drop in, while those first few little images start to come through, and then we'll get rolling and see where things go. So I am setting the intention today that the information, the insight that comes through for us is for my highest good, for your highest good, and the highest good for all for this month of September. I am asking for our spirit guides, our angels, our ancestors, and any beings of the highest light who come in support of our highest good and the highest good for all to please step into the room to surround us with protection, with love, with ease and warmth, so that we may know that they are here, that they are present, that we are held. And I also ask that in addition to whatever information may come through me today, that your spirit guides can also drop signs, synchronicities, nudges, little bits of insight and nudges to help shift you in the direction of your highest good, of your greatest alignment, what is most helpful for you this month to uncover as the month of September unfolds. So the first thing that I'm seeing is fire, and there's this little magenta glow around it. I've seen this a couple times lately. Sometimes images, like the starting image especially, will sort of repeat or be similar from message to message. I got this one a couple weeks ago. Okay, are we going into this? Okay, we're going into this. So this fire represents the fire that was present during the burning times, when people were tried as witches and persecuted. Many of us have past lives, memories, and lineage wounds that stem from the times of burning. We were not just burned. We were hanged, ridiculed, laughed at, exiled, othered. I'm seeing a woman, an older woman who appears to be an herbalist. And they're like, wait, no, that's too limiting. She was so much more than that. But she's in this shop. This is in Glasgow, in Scotland. And they're just like floor to ceiling potions, like potion bottles, but they're, we might call them potions, but they're tinctures, they're herbal extracts, they're medicine. I knew this was going to happen. My intention was not divine feminine healing today. It was more neutral and open and curious, open to whatever wanted to come through that was most supportive for us. But as I was like starting to get ready and kind of clearing my space and my field and everything, I was just getting all of this like divine mother, divine feminine kind of energy coming through. So let's see what else is here for us in this. The time has come for you to heal. To heal wounds that have been too tender to touch until now. And I'm seeing someone like literally touching a wound on their arm, but their finger is covered in wax. So rather than it being like a little salty and stinging, it has this like almost unexpected softness that all the times they've touched that wound before, it's like, oh, you just can't do it. But this time, that little soft wax covering, it's like, oh, that's okay now. Oh, I can go there this time. I can go there now. The wounds of the past may not be wounds any longer, though we may hold them in our minds as such. Like a story you have told many times, you may tell it once more and find yourself to be removed from the details, telling it like a story you know all too well. And this feels like when you've told someone about like how shitty your parents were, or like this time you fell when you were a kid, and you've told it so many times, you're not like actively remembering the details anymore. You're kind of going through the story as it's been like scripted and refined over so many tellings. And you get to a point where your emotion is entirely removed from it, because it's more of like telling a story than it is like revealing something of your heart, you know? And I'm seeing someone just like, and this is all of us, just like rubbing our heart space, softening, encouraging, allowing, giving permission for that tenderness and that openness to come through. It's almost as if we are rubbing our heart in order to break off this kind of outer crusty layer and let that all flake off and fall away, almost like old remnants of clay. And underneath, there's this much softer, more open. It's almost like it's taking the clay off of a lock or the hinge of a door that allows you to open it and actually access the center of the heart, the truth of the heart. The heart is glowing. The heart is divine. The heart is imbued with a frequency unlike any other. The heart is the door, the doorway, the access point, the portal to the other. And in this case, other is like the divine, your higher self, that which is not ego, that which is not 3D, that which is not limited. And I just want to keep rubbing my heart. I feel all of this energy in that heart space. Like, oh. And I encourage you to rub your heart as well, or even just place your hand there if that feels right for you. And I'm seeing someone's heart almost like a maze or a series of pathways, and they go absolutely everywhere, like literally like every single atom and little space of the heart, there is a way to go there. And there are these paths that have been traversed all in kind of the front space of the heart. So right in the front, maybe we haven't gone too deep, but there are all of these other places in the sides, in the back, in the deeper layers, in the center, in the bottom, where we may not have yet explored in earnest. Because there are these things that have kept us from going there. Things that were too tender to touch, too stinging to see, too delicate to hold in your hands because it would just crumble. You would just crumble. That is changing now. How is it changing, or what is causing it to change? And this energy that's communicating, this consciousness, is very feminine, motherly, warm. I usually ask a little later on for them to introduce themselves, but I just wanted to give you a little, maybe you can feel it, but it's very feminine, motherly, warm, like enveloping. What is causing this to change? What's allowing us to have more access to our hearts? The frequency of the divine is flowing in now, more and more each day. Okay, so there are all of these ways that we might perceive this, and there are some people where like we don't really we're just not really tuned into it. It's not that we're not experiencing it. It's not impacting us. It's not like a conscious thing. But for other people, they are finding more psychic abilities turning on. For other people, they are finding that it is so much easier to say yes to things they want and not let fear and self-doubt get in the way, or other things that have limited them in the past. All of these things that felt like they were out there or they were for a future self to embark on, they feel like they can do that now, and it's kind of a sudden thing, or like it's something that has been sort of like churning and becoming in the last, let's say, few months to a year. There's other ways that this can express itself too. This is like dreams becoming deeper and more vivid, more cinematic, more memorable. This is empathy increasing, just knowing things, picking up things off of people that you've like never really picked up on before. And it's so much more than that too, but those are just like some examples. Oh, I got a little fuzzy in my eye. Okay, all right, we got it. Can you tell us more about this divine energy flowing in, please? It is time. It is time. It is time for the energy to be received and transmitted. And it's like, it looks like energy flowing from the sun, like this really beautiful solar light energy, like yellow, golden, very bright glowing. And it's flowing down almost like water. And then it's moving over to this, it looks like the Antikythera mechanism. I don't know if I'm saying that right. If you don't know it, it is this very old artifact found in, I think, Greece. And it predates a lot of technology. And it's some sort of mathematical, maybe like astronomical or astrological kind of calculator or ephemeris maybe. So it's one of these things that like it doesn't fit in our understanding of where technology was at the time that it was created, but it's there. Like that's the time we're carbon dating it to, and it shouldn't have existed then, but it does. So I'm seeing this thing that looks like the Antikythera mechanism, however you say it, and it's like this light is flowing into this mechanism, this piece of technology, and it's like it's rusty and it's old and it like hasn't been used in centuries, and it just starts to flow around all of the layers, and it looks like all of these metal rings that are different sizes, from very small in the middle, and they get larger as they go out, and the rings are kind of in different directions, so overall it creates a sphere. And this energy is flowing into every single one of those rings, every single little joint, every screw, every piece, every detail. And it's almost like any bit of like rust or dirt or anything like that is being just like evaporated. And it almost has like an oiling and activating effect. So suddenly this machine is springing to life. And what does this machine represent? What does it do? I'm seeing flowers, like it's like little daisies twirling in the air and like spinning. It's like kind of like a psychedelic, fanciful scene like you would see in a movie where like two teenagers or something or two young people are falling in love. This feels very New Earth. This feels like kind of solar flashy also. Let me see what more is here. Okay, we have a being coming forward. This is Ashira. Oh, Ashira is one of my guides. She's one of my oldest guides. Ashira is tall, regal. She has this cosmic queen energy, lavender kind of translucent skin, ET. You look at her skin up close and it's almost like, you know how when you have like shimmery nail polish and there's like it can kind of swirl and there's all these different colors, very iridescent. That's what her skin is like. Okay, let's see what she has to say. She's standing behind me and placing her hands on my shoulders. And it's almost like placing her head on my head, but it's as if some part of her is coming down and touching my third eye. It feels like this gentle, slow massage that's just this like awakening. Like kind of the way that if you have children, or if you can imagine like waking a child up in the morning when they're really sleepy, just like rubbing their back or like stroking their head, and so gentle, so patient, so loving. And she's saying, you will remember. She said this before. And that's kind of her way too. Like her guidance with me is very trusting. It's loving, it's present, but it's like she brings a frequency that makes you stand up a little taller and really connect with the truth of who you are, the truth of your heart and soul. And do the work yourself. Find the thing within yourself that needs to be found or accessed. I'm getting all of these tingles on my shoulders, on the sides of my head. Whew. Lots of purple, magenta energy swirling around. Like my inner vision is just filled with purple and magenta, like kind of, oh, you can't really see very well, maybe in the light, kind of the color of the shirt, but much brighter. Oh, interesting. Okay. There's this, right at like the top center of my field, there is this orb, this sphere, And it's like a lilac lavender kind of a color. It almost reminds me of a jellyfish, the top of a jellyfish. And it has these seams or like ribs that connect it top to bottom all the way around. What is this? Okay, so it's almost like a balloon, and it comes down, and when it lands it just like pops open, like right at the base. Okay, what is inside this balloon? What is coming out of this? Okay, it's not so much that there's something coming out of it, it's that it opens and it just grows. It grows outward, it covers the ground, it's creating this sort of platform. I'm just kind of watching it grow. People are noticing. They're kind of having to like, ooh, like step out of the way. But they're not, well, some people are kind of afraid of it just because they don't really know what's happening. Um, but it's something growing across the ground. And of course, this is metaphorical, right? It's not like actually something's going to come down to earth and grow across the ground. Okay, what is this? Can you tell me more about this, please, Ashira? It is the new land you will walk on, the new grounding, the new footing. More vibrant, more colorful, more bright, more bouncy. But bouncy is like joyful, playful, fun. The new energy, the new foundation. The new truth. A blanket of truth that sweeps across everything. Sweeps across the world. Everyone will know. Everyone must know what they have done, what they plan to do, but will not succeed in doing. Okay, this has come up a lot in a lot of different ways. That there will be this point here in the future, and I'm not sure exactly when this is. I've gotten kind of different time periods over the next few years, like couple years especially. And it's this real turning point where the dark forces, the control forces, the groups and people on earth that want to be in control, enslave people, manipulate people, do incredibly harmful, disturbing things, will not be able to do it any longer. That we will see through everything that they are doing clear as day. We will know their plans. We will like they will be done. And part of this is the growing consciousness in humanity, in each of us. And part of this is the rising frequency on the planet that we are bathed in, that runs through us, that is in and around and infused into absolutely everything. Like we'll just get to a point where it is no longer compatible. So when those beings, those people, those dark forces are cleared out, it creates this huge shift that literally changes the ground we are walking on. Changes the foundation of how we relate to one another. Trusting your neighbor, loving your neighbor, lifting up one another. And I'm seeing two people who live next door to each other, and their homes, their lots are separated by a fence, and like they've never really talked. They've lived next to each other for many years. They just kind of do their own thing. They see each other in passing, but they've never really talked. And they had this moment where just wordlessly, they're both outside in their front yard. They look at each other and they just like reach over. Oh my God, the time. Okay, I'm recording this on GarageBand also. Hang on a sec. I'm recording this on GarageBand also for the audio. And I just looked up and it's at 777 And it's like the bars, it's like that kind of time. Anyway, okay, so just had to let you know about the angel numbers. So these two neighbors just wordlessly reach across the fence and hug each other. And it is like this feeling of, I'm so glad we get to be best friends now. Like, I'm so glad that we get to share this love with each other now. Like, oh, it's finally here. And that kind of sudden opening in relationships is like something that we're all experiencing. Like, I see people walking out into their neighborhood, and whereas before maybe you have like one or two neighbors that you'll talk to and that you'll be like, hey, what did you hear that sound? What was that about? And this time it's like everybody, like we're all friends now. We're all really good friends. So it is this opening of unity, opening of connection, opening of heartfelt connection, truth, sharing. And it's almost like a cord between your heart and someone else's. That like anybody you can talk to them like the people that you know and trust the most, that you are the closest with. There will be a new foundation of connection on the planet when the dark forces are no longer present, because there will no longer be anything to truly distrust. When no one is out to harm anyone, connection becomes much easier. And they're kind of communicating this sense of sympathy and like almost like exasperation of like, man, you humans have had it really rough. Like, it's not like that for us. It's not like that in most of the universe. But here there's just been so much disconnection, isolation, suspicion, armoring, all of the armoring that we have to do to protect ourselves as people, as women, as parents, as anybody with something to protect, even if that is just you. The level of armoring we have had to walk through the world with or put up the moment someone else comes into our space, that all can just crumble away, and we don't have to put so much energy into creating it and maintaining it and holding it up. Like, it is so heavy, and to not have to carry that anymore will be a feat. Is what they're saying. Will be a celebration, a mass celebration all around the world. And I'm seeing the is it the world card? Hang on a sec. Do I have my... Oh, I don't have my tarot cards right here. I have a bunch of oracle cards, but I don't have my tarot. Just worldwide celebration, like a parade on every street, a parade and a party in every town. Okay. I just want to bring it back for a sec because this is amazing. This is wonderful. I get stuff like this fairly frequently, but the timeline of those things, it seems to be farther in the future. And what I really want to bring through for us is guidance for this month of September 2026. What can we focus on, anchor into, practice, be aware of, etc., as we move through this month? I ask any beings of the highest light who come in support of my highest good and the highest good for all to please step forward and share this information with us. I see lots of orange. Let me just take a drink real quick. Sacral, swirling. I'm seeing like a spiral, an orange spiral in the sacral chakra. It's There's something here about like really grounding into the lower chakras one by one, root, then sacral, then solar plexus, as much as we can. Like anytime you think about it, anytime you think about it, just do a little bit of grounding. And that doesn't necessarily have to be through the chakras. That can be through the feet. That can be into the earth. That can be just imagining the flow of energy and gravity moving downward from your body into the earth, taking anything that's not actually yours with it, taking anything that you can let go of, anything you don't need, whether you know what it is or not, right? Sometimes we're consciously releasing things, and other times it's like just whatever it is that's not mine, that I don't need anymore, just send it off. Let it go. So there is the encouragement to ground more frequently, ground more deeply, ground for a longer period of time. Like if when you go to ground, it's like a quick little 30-second thing, maybe give it like 3 minutes. If it's like a 5-minute thing, maybe give it 10 minutes, just like expand it. Give it a little more time and space, because it deserves it and you deserve it. That grounding is so vital, so important. I'm hearing so true. That grounding is so true. It is helpful to be grounded. Excuse me. It is helpful to be grounded in turbulent times. When the world is moving through cycles of release, destruction of the old, what is no longer needed, when there is uncertainty, unknown, fear, worry, concern, ground. Tune into what is true. Tune into what is real. Like when you see stuff on the news, when you hear about things happening in the world, or things that, are sort of promised, planned to happen, it's so easy for us to, excuse me, I'm all gurgly all of a sudden after taking that drink of water. It is so easy to get lost in anxiety in the mind, like to just spiral off and away in the direction of, oh my God, what could happen? Oh my God, how bad could this get? And that is all potential. That is all possibility. A lot of that is imagination, right? How much of the things that we see on the news, or that we wonder about happening, that we don't want to happen, actually happen? Most of it doesn't happen, right? But that's just our brain and our nervous system trying to protect us. So it's not a bad thing to go to those places sometimes, right? It's a protective mechanism, but we also want to have more control over our tools, and our mind is one of our tools. So if we can notice when that's happening, and when it's like, okay, we're getting a little carried away now. I'm feeling scattered. I'm feeling ungrounded. I'm feeling, I'm getting that anxiety in my body. Maybe I'm starting to get, kind of pacey and shaky, and however it manifests for you, tuning back into what is real, to your physical environment. Like, there's my computer here, my phone here. There's my table right here. I can touch it with my hands. I can feel it, and it's smooth and it's soft, right? Or maybe there's like a little bit of dust, or, a little bit of ash from a candle or something here. What can I feel underneath my feet? I feel the ground. I feel the carpet. I feel the floor. Maybe I have some grass or some earth that my feet are on. So tuning into what is real, what is certain in this reality. And now I'm seeing someone like leaning their shoulders back and just like very slowly, fully opening up their heart, arching their back, letting their arms come out like this, just like huge, like exaltation, expansion, opening. And this feels very much like this is what comes after the grounding. Like, this is what's available after we ground. Like, sometimes grounding is all you need. Sometimes that's just the start of it, right? We ground and then we do something else, or maybe then we like open up to channel or meditate or whatever. But sometimes all we need to do is just the grounding, and then it's almost like your energy goes wherever it needs to with the grounding. And so whatever you're ready for next, or what's most beneficial or expansive for you, will then start to arise, will then start to move through you, that energy. Oh, I looked at the time again on the GarageBand thing, and I literally said 11111 5 ones. It still says 111, but there's other numbers after it. Fabulous. I love the angel numbers. Have just been like angel numbering like crazy for me lately. It's every single time I look at the time, every single time I like check my phone, what time is it? 111, 1111, 222, whatever. Every license plate that catches my eye, like this is the last, like, I don't know, 2-3 weeks or something. I don't know if you guys are experiencing that too, but I'm just like, oh, that's so fun. Okay, so after we ground comes the expansion, the heart opening. And this is like, my heart is opening more fully than it ever has before. This armor, this clay, this crusty outer layer has rubbed off, and I can just like open and expand. And there is this encouragement here to be doing like physical heart openers. So if you've ever been a yogi, if you've ever taken yoga classes and you've done heart opening poses, especially in like a restorative class or right before shavasana, when you're winding down, then you probably know some of these. But like, even if you can just lay down on the floor or your bed and like place a pillow in between shoulder blades or under like kind of the center of your upper back, and just let your shoulders, your arms, your head and neck, and your sacrum and tailbone just kind of like melt over that point, so your heart is the highest part of the body. There's something really helpful about like physically opening up the muscles, the fascia, the ligaments, the tendons, the tissues, like letting everything have a little time and space, and giving it the time and attention and energy to open, stretch, melt, release, because it is this physicality that is guarding the heart, right? If you've ever gone through a period of depression or grief or heartache, and you've noticed that it is so hard to like have good posture, it's so hard to sit up straight, and then you kind of get into, it's almost like things start to kind of just become that way, like that forward rounded posture kind of just becomes like your default. And part of it is this armor, it's this protection around the heart. It's like, let me move my heart further back, away from the people that I might be interacting with, away from the world. It's like your body's trying to kind of close it in and keep it safe, like making this little cave. And so if we're in this place, or coming into this place very soon, where we don't really need to do that so much anymore, we don't need so much wounding and encasing and protection of the heart, then, what does it feel like to just, whenever you think about it, just, let your shoulders come back a little bit. Let your arms feel a little heavier dangling at your sides so they can start to pull on your shoulders. What does it feel like to give yourself one of these stretches where you're trying to kind of squeeze your shoulder blades together, right? And then obviously, if you know, or if you can look up some like heart opening yoga poses, especially like restorative or yin poses with maybe some bolsters or pillows or blocks or, whatever you have at home, that's incredible, because nothing that we do exists in a vacuum. Everything is connected to everything else. Everything affects the all. So if we can start to open up our heart space physically, it opens up that heart space energetically, emotionally. Okay. Okay. So what I'm seeing is like, someone is doing that like big arched back, leaned back kind of pose, and then one of their arms is reaching all the way back, and then their opposite leg is reaching all the way back. But they're just still just like this. So they're just like totally stretched, really, really long. Okay, what is this about? Reaching for sights you never thought you could reach. It's also like reaching for heights. And so this person is stretching from horizon to horizon. That's what they're doing. They're like Elastigirl. I can touch all the way the farthest point I can see back there, and all the way at the farthest point I can see up here at the same time. They're saying expansion like you've never seen it before. Coming into new selves, new aspects of self, new forms of self. And I'm seeing someone who has this like overlay on their body, and it looks like them. They've been walking around with it, but it's almost like rubber or like a mask, like a disguise or something, and it just drops to the ground, and it's rubber, so it's like all like wobbly and gelatinous and weird. But and it's clear, it's like a clear kind of bluish, and it just drops to the ground, and like they feel so much lighter and freer and like their true self, and they just take a step right over that old self, that facade they don't need anymore, and they get to just step forward. I'm hearing soul self, your true soul self, embodying more of your soul self, embodying more of your higher self. Many of you are embodying more of your higher self now. It is time. It is coming into time. If there is something you have longed to do for much time, and this is like a dream, something that you feel jealous when you see other people doing it, and this can be like a job, or like someone who travels a lot, someone who has a lot of friends and is always going on adventures and like hiking or whatever with them. If it is someone who has a really lush garden, like it can be anything that you have felt was unattainable for you, or like for other people. They're like, no, you want it for a reason. You want it for a reason. It's not coincidental. It's not random. It's because you are meant to be drawn toward it. When you are desiring something, that can be an aspect of your future self kind of winking back at you like, hey, this is going to be yours. You're going to make this. You're going to make this happen. And oh, hang on a sec. I lost my train of thought. It just flew away like a little bird. But usually when that happens, it's because there's something more important coming in. Okay. Oh, and I'm seeing a bird, but it's okay. Sometimes I'm like, what's with these images? But they are what they are. It's like in The Rescuers, when they're flying on the bird, it's like a person flying on a bird, and they're flying off into the sunset, like this very magical kind of thing. And it's like the last scene of a movie where our protagonist has gotten everything they've ever wanted, all of their dreams have come true, or it's this point of like the peak of like hope and potential, and oh, here it is. Okay, it is. I finally see the path ahead that leads me to my dreams. Before, I could not see them. They were simply a dream. And now I can see how to get there, right? I can see the path ahead. And like, I'm going, like nothing's standing in my way. I don't need to be blocked anymore. I don't need anything to stop me. Like a little bit of self-doubt comes in. Psh, nope, Don't need that. That's not helpful. I'm beyond that now. Those moments are still going to come up, but you're going to relate to them in a different way. A moment of fear comes up. Don't need that anymore. Nope. That thing's not going to happen. That bad thing's not going to happen. And if it did, you know what? I'm going to be okay. Because this is meant for me. This thing that's calling me is meant for me. How fun, you guys. This is so fun. I will say that I personally have been experiencing this lately. And today actually is kind of like a big part of that. It feels very much like stepping into a new chapter of my life personally and doing things that, again, I thought was for like other people. I knew I had the capacity for it, but I didn't actually see that happening for me in this life. At least not like here in my 30s. But here we are. Now it's like, oh yeah, I want that thing. I can just reach out and grab it and it's here. Okay. Is there any more guidance that is helpful for us of how to navigate this coming month? This month of September 2026. I'm seeing someone reaching out and just hugging someone, and the feeling is like, just love each other. Like, don't overcomplicate it. Like, just love the person you are in front of, whether that is yourself and you are looking in the mirror, you are sitting alone, you are journaling, you are doing some shadow work, whatever it is that you are doing alone. Love that person because they deserve your love. If this is your partner, if this is your mom, if this is your boss, your whoever, like, maybe don't hug your boss unless that's like, kosher in your company culture, but like, just love the person that's in front of you. Like, and the way that this is feeling is like, don't hesitate to offer something you want to offer. So, oh, my husband's on the porch and it's distracting me. Hang on a sec. I'm just gonna close this for a minute so that I can't see him. Bye. Okay. Where was I? If you want to give someone a compliment, if you want to write someone a little note and leave it on their doorstep, just like do it. This is the time to do it. If you want to tell someone how you feel about them, and don't make it about you, make it about them. Let them know how wonderful you think they are. Let them know how much you admire them, how much you see them, how much you want to support them or love them or help them or whatever it is. Because when we think about New Earth or matriarchy or any sort of future that is more positive than the one that the world kind of wants us to believe in, right? The dystopian AI surveillance, whatever kind of New World Order situation. Any future that is better than that one, what does it require? It requires community. It requires deep, strong, trusted connections. It requires friendships and all sorts of relationships that are reliable and true and strong. It requires us to reach out to people, to be a little vulnerable, to open our hearts up a little bit, to risk a little bit of potential rejection. But I also find that in the practice of vulnerability, more than anything, I find is that people really want to help. Sorry about the plane. We've got lots of wildfires close to us, so that's one of the fire planes bringing water to one of the fires nearby. People really want to help, and I was talking about this with a friend of mine a few years ago, and this was when I had just become a single mom, and I was really struggling with something. I forget what it was now, but I felt like such a burden for asking for help, but I just was at that point where I couldn't wait anymore. I couldn't try and go it on my own. Like I truly needed help, as independent and self-sufficient as I like to be. And I'm looking at the clock because it's 11:10 and I'm like, oh, it's about to be 11:11. Anyway. And one of the things that she said to me was like, honey, it is an honor to help. Like, I love getting to help people. Do you know how much that lights me up? Do you know how good it feels to get to help someone? Like, of course you do, but like, don't forget, you know? And it's such a wound of patriarchy. It is such a wound of this very young, individualized culture that we live in the Western world, at least, that is, um, pull yourself up by your bootstraps and like all sorts of bullshit that's literally the antithesis of unity, community, harmony, matriarchy, living in any way other than like this totally isolated, individualized, like nuclear family, no help, no community, children raised without a village, that whole kind of thing, that whole game that we don't want to play anymore, you know? So what are the building blocks of that game? Opening your heart, grounding into what is true, what is real, what is here right now. Flaking off that crusty, dusty outer layer, going a little deeper into those places that have been tender for a long time. Those are some of them, at least. I want to go back to this witch wound that was coming up at the very beginning. How does that relate to the heart? Because that felt like it was a big wound that was getting in the way, but I just want some clarity on that, or to see if there is more in relation to the witch wound. Oh, and it's like the witch wound is peeling back, and I'm seeing like literally like a sunburn, when a sunburn peels, and especially when it's on like your whole body, you get those just big like layers of flaky skin just peeling up. This is the witch wound just peeling away, peeling away. The witch wound used to be like this, I'm seeing how in like a spy movie, when someone's trying to get to a vault and there's this corridor of all of these blockades. So there's like a door that comes down and they have to slide under it just in time. And if not, like they're blocked and they can't get through. Or there's like a cleaver that swings and they have to go around it at like the perfect time and the perfect angle so they don't get like sliced in half. All of these things. This is like the corridor of the witch wound. There could just be all of these really like impenetrable, it can feel impenetrable blocks. They're not actually impenetrable, but they can feel so inhibiting. Or at least in the past that was true. And this isn't true for absolutely everybody, but there is a very large collective of people who are experiencing their witch wound just peeling away. It is no longer an iron door. It is no longer a corridor of barriers and what's this word? Barriers and the word I'm hearing is shenanigans, but that's not it. It's like obstacles, things you have to jump over and move around and slide under, and, whatever. It is no longer barriers and obstacles. It is, and I'm seeing someone picking an orange or like a mandarin from a tree, and like a little bit of the limonene just kind of squirts out of the peel and they can smell it. And this is like a very perfect like the kind of orange you would see in a commercial. Like it's got the little stem with the two perfect green leaves coming off the side. Bearing the fruit of your gifts that have stayed under wraps for far too long. Do not hesitate to pick the fruit. Take a bite yourself and share it with others. Now is the time. Now is the time to share and bear the fruit of your gifts. And you know, the witch wound is not just in the realm of the unseen, right? We tend to think of the witch wound as, and for anybody that doesn't know, the witch wound is the wound that we carry that makes us feel like we can't share the truth of who we are because we will be viewed as weird, other. People will think we're demonic or evil or like some bullshit like that just because they don't understand. And we tend to think of this in the realm of psychic abilities, prophetic dreams, clairvoyance, Reiki, like energy healing, all sorts of things. And this is even like, you know, physiological healing outside of Western medicine. People think like traditional Chinese medicine and Ayurveda and, you know, all sorts of natural healing, natural medicine, herbalism, things like that. Those can also be grouped into the witch wound. But what I'm seeing right now is that like somebody who's an artist that can be really afraid to share their art, that can also be a part of the witch wound. So the witch wound can come from past lives. It can come from people in our lineage, our own ancestors who have had experiences in their lifetimes, in our own past lifetimes or this present lifetime, where we have been othered or outcast or exiled, where people have been afraid of us or doubted us or taunted us or mocked us or whatever it was for our natural inclinations, passions, abilities, skills, gifts, things like that. Do not be afraid anymore. Do not be afraid. This witch wound is literally like crumbling. It's like a ball of paper crumbling away in the wind, in the elements, in rain. It's like it started out real strong, real sturdy. It could withstand a lot. And now it's like it has just been beaten and tattered enough. It is just scattering to the winds. How cool. Good for us. Yeah. And it is time, because that is one of the other things that needs to happen. And that just like has to happen in this process of our consciousness rising higher, seeing more through the bullshit of the world. And like as consciousness rises, our abilities get stronger because they live in those higher realms, those higher frequencies and other dimensions. And so, you know, we can't ascend to 5D and like not have super awesome dreams that give us important information and not have any connection to our spirit guides. And like that looks different for everybody, right? But like, yeah, of course, your abilities that we all have, right? They're a little different for all of us. We all have, if we are all artists, our palette is going to look a little different. We're going to have some different colors. We're going to have different kinds of paints that we use or different mediums that we work with. But we all have access to any ability, right? We all have the technology and the divine access for it all. It's just a matter of what is most aligned for you. What do you choose to cultivate and work on? What is most natural for you? What have you cultivated in past lifetimes that is now ready to just burst forth out of you? Just seeing if there's something else there. And I'm seeing falling leaves. These are maple leaves, and they're like a rainbow. It's like red, orange, yellow, green, brown, just like so vibrant, so colorful. This is showing us fall. I'm hearing right around the corner. Yeah, we've got autumn equinox coming right up, huh? What is that, like September 22nd, 21st, somewhere around there? I'm hearing the turning point. Autumn equinox is the turning point. Hang on a sec. There are many turning points. Some have passed, some are still to come. Okay, I thought I heard autumn equinox is the turning point of all turning points, but I don't want to say that unless I'm sure. Hang on a sec. Let's see if they'll repeat it. Because sometimes if I just get it once, I'm like, did I hear that right? Just want to make sure, you guys. They're like, yeah, it's not important. Like, we don't need to, we don't need to go there. There doesn't need to be any hierarchy. What matters is that it is an energetic turning point of things to come to pass. Okay. I was seeing a leader of some kind, like a president or prime minister or something like that. And I was hearing leaders will fall, and I saw someone pulling down a statue of the leader of their country or whoever it was, or of a country. It wasn't necessarily by the people of that country. Leaders will fall. This feels like more of kind of a global movement. And I don't get that this is in September, but this is part of that turning point, like this energetic turning point that things will start to kind of kick up in this direction. Okay, do we have more about that? And I'm like seeing people cheering, jumping up and down, hugging and kissing each other after this statue is pulled down. I'm seeing people storming a very old, ornate government building. And it's this like power to the people, like, this is ours now. Like, you guys were doing a terrible job, so it's our turn. We're taking over. We decide. We the people. We decide. And I don't know if this is the US or not. This doesn't look specific to any place. And it doesn't feel specific to any place. But it feels like something that we'll see happening in a few different places. And I'm seeing a visual that I've seen before of, when there's like a power outage or no. Okay. So like when it's like, what's the best way to describe this? Hang on a sec. I just had like a bunch of examples come to mind and I should probably pick one rather than a little piece of all of them. Okay. So I am seeing the world, like the globe, and all of the individual countries. And it's as if it's nighttime and all the lights are off. And then like one country at a time turns their light on. And it's like the whole country lit up as if it is the window of an apartment building. And I'm seeing this the same way that I saw it before, which was it's focused at first over like Northern Africa, Middle East. So there's like Oman, Morocco, Egypt, Saudi Arabia. There's a few countries in there. I'm not sure what they are. I can see them on the map, but I'm like, is that Tunisia? What is that? I'm not sure exactly. But it just sets off this cascade, and it is like the entire, fun. It is the entire earth, every single country lit up and glowing. And then that glow of all of those lights turned up so bright, all together, glowing in unison. The entire earth is glowing. It is here we go. Okay, yes, it is glowing from within, like the light is coming out from the earth. And then there's also this sun energy coming from the sun, like we saw in the beginning, flowing to the earth. So it's like light from within, light coming to, and it's just this like spark that creates this shock wave. When that light from the earth and light from the sun meet, it is just like this, like like instantaneous shockwave across the entire universe. And they say, we know. We will know. Like when this shockwave travels through the entire universe, every single being on every single planet, in every single ship, all over everywhere, will know what has occurred. We'll cheer, we'll celebrate, in joy, in relief, in utter relief, because you did it. Because you will have done what you came here to do. Each and every one of you plays a role. Each and every one of you plays a part. They've used this phrase before. The greatest group project ever. The greatest group project of all time. So they've been talking about, and when I say they, I mean my guides, I mean virtually any being that I'm connecting to, which is pretty varied. There's lots of ETs, there's angels, there's like Mother Earth, there's like elementals, there's whales, dolphins, you know, you name it. I am getting something very similar from them, and I have been the entire year. And a lot of other intuitives are getting this as well, that there's some kind of big, I don't know, it's like a threshold that we meet where everything changes for the positive after that. And it seems to be this like bringing on new earth kind of thing. I think we can call it the event, whether that involves a solar flash or not. And if you don't know about solar flash, the solar flash is something that has been in spiritual and ascension communities, I don't know for how long. I first heard about it in probably 2017 or 2018, and it's come up through Dolores Cannon and her hypnosis sessions, QHHT. It's come through a lot of channels and intuitives and psychics and mediums and tarot readers and just, you know, many of us who are connected to the unseen in our, you know, whatever way however we call it, have seen or dreamed about or picked up on this solar flash. And it's like this huge burst of energy or light that is very high frequency. And it's either coming from the sun or it's like to the sun. Some people are saying it comes from the great central sun in the galactic center, which I believe is in the Sagittarius constellation. And some people say that's where like all of the life in our universe comes from. Wherever it comes from, it is this huge burst of high vibrational energy and light that has this massive consciousness rising, healing, uplifting effect on all of humanity, on the planet, on like absolutely everything. It is what kicks us out of the third dimension, up out of the fourth dimension into like fifth dimensional reality as our new home base. So what I've personally gotten about the solar flash is that it's already happening. It's been happening. We have been getting so much solar activity the last few years. I first tuned into this in 2020, that there were these like codes, like transmissions, light codes, energy codes coming through the sun, and that it was helpful to like get out in the sun and soak them up. Like you're getting them no matter what. You can be inside all day, slathered in sunscreen and UV clothing and wearing sunglasses and never going outside. You're still gonna get it. Like this energy is, you know, it's not like a UV rays. It's electromagnetic solar energy. It comes through the windows, it goes through every material, through the walls of your homes. Like it's going to reach you no matter what, but like it's really beneficial to go outside and intentionally receive it. So I've been getting, and I know a lot of others too, have been getting that it has been coming in waves. Whether we experience like one grand solar flash that everyone experiences, everyone talks about, everyone is like, what the fuck is that? Except for the people who know and who can go on to be helpers, is dependent on a few things. And the last time I tuned in about this was maybe in like May. Yeah, it was in May. And what my guides had said was that right now, with the way things stand, and this was back in May, so it may have changed, and I'll tune in here in a sec, was that right now, a grand solar flash would not be the most helpful experience because it would be too disorienting to too many people. So you know how when we have a big solar flare, X class, whatever, maybe it's so big that like you're seeing an aurora in places where you don't typically see auroras, that kind of thing. Not all of us experience this, but for a lot of us, we have physical symptoms that we experience. Some people get nauseous, some people get tired, some people get headaches or dizziness or heart palpitations, or their dreams are really vivid for a couple of nights, or their abilities are turned up, like all sorts of things. Some people just feel really emotional. So if that's what we're getting from like an X-class flare or an M-class flare, to have that on, a 100x scale or whatever it would be, I don't know, would just be too intense for people right now. So my guides had said that if we can get to like kind of a critical mass with having enough helpers and guides, which are people who understand that solar flash energy, whether they know about it or not, but just can be almost like a doula for the people who are very confused by it, who are disoriented, who are afraid of it, that when that energy rolls through, if it were to come this way, can, just kind of like be a place of solace and support and comfort to them, and help them understand that it's nothing to be afraid of. This is a good thing. I knew this was coming, or like, this is what I felt. So I don't know if that's what this is or not, this light, but checks a lot of boxes, friends. Let me just tune in for a second, see if I can get any updated information about the solar flash. I want to know if there's any new information to be shared since the last time that I checked in about the solar flash, and if we are still in that place of it not being the most helpful option to have a singular grand solar flash, and instead needing to have smaller, consistent, gradual ones as we've been having for many years. They're showing me the flash from the sun. It's almost like a shock wave of energy. And I'm seeing it like blowing people's hair back and like blowing papers off of a desk. And I see people who are camping. They have an RV. They've got camp chairs. They're fishing on the edge of a river. And like the water starts moving all of a sudden, like maybe in a different direction, or maybe just like in a way it wouldn't normally move. And they're like, what's going on? And then a woman comes up to them and puts her hand on their arm, like upper arm. It's like, hey, it's okay. And is like communicating to them what it was and what it's for. And more than anything, it is her presence, her calmness, and her confidence that is reassuring to them. That is what is most important. And it's kind of that thing where, like, if you were to go through some kind of like a group injury or natural disaster or something, when you have a ton of helpers come into that scene, so whether those are like EMTs or firefighters or whoever, and everybody is so warm and calm and gentle and patient and lovely, they're like, hey, I know that was really scary, but you're all right. You're going to be okay. Nothing bad happened. None of that was your fault. Like, it's all going to be all right. We're going to get you checked out just to make sure everything's good, but like, there's nothing to worry about. I know that came on fast. I know that was unexpected, but it's all going to be okay. All right. Do you want some water? Let's go sit down. That kind of thing. When you're surrounded by that, even if you feel disoriented, even if you are in a little bit of shock, even if you're just like, what the hell was that? Like, it is so reassuring. You do come around. It's like you have the net around you, the safety net of comfort and reassurance, for your nervous system and your emotions to be able to shift into that, like, okay, maybe this wasn't like maybe a bomb didn't go off. maybe maybe I will be all right. Maybe this is okay. Okay. Let's see what else. I'm just going to take a drink. Is there anything else about the solar flash? I'm seeing waves of plasma coming out from the earth, or I'm sorry, coming out from the sun, but they're not releasing, they're just like extended out. And there's a whole bunch of them. They're kind of waving and just sort of dancing. Okay, and I'm being reminded of something that they showed me before, back when I had tuned into the solar flash back in May. One of the things that I felt was that the sun, and it was almost like a dancer on a dance floor who is moving from their heart. And like that's their intention in their dance, is to dance from their heart. And so they have this kind of undulating motion that they're doing, and it's almost as if they're like building energy up in their heart. And then when it gets to this like certain point, like they can't hold anymore, or it just feels like it's time, they just feel ready, then they just like, and like all of that energy from their heart just blasts forward, and it hits absolutely everyone. And one of the things, oh my gosh, this is all coming back to me now. Okay. One of the things that I was seeing happened when that like solar energy from this person's heart, this, female embodiment of the sun in this visual, when she like unleashes this and it touches people, it makes them see all of the things they did not see before. It illuminates the shadows, the blind spots, and it was like kind of like shadow work turned up, but with so much support behind it that it was very easy to heal like that. And so one of the things that they were showing me was a wound on someone's arm that just would not heal, and it's like swollen and inflamed, and it's like, oh, it's so, it's like infected or something. And they've been trying to heal it, and like nothing is working. And so it's kind of sewn up around the edges, and they just are able to take the stitches out in one swift movement. And in the taking the stitches out, like the redness and the swelling instantly goes down. The little holes where the thread had gone through start to just like fill in and disappear. It's like it heals almost instantaneously. So maybe there's something here about the things we do and the armored, or like the parts of ourselves. This kind of feels like control also. The ways we try to have control, the things we try to do to protect our own wounding, sometimes can be the thing that keeps it from healing. It's there for a good reason. It is there for protection. But it's kind of like if you get a scrape and you put a Band-Aid on it, and then you're just wearing a Band-Aid forever, like that, it needs air. You can't keep putting ointment on it every day and put a Band-Aid over it. Like, it needs to dry out a little bit. It needs, it's not going to do so well if you just like are trying so hard to just like protect it immaculately. And then there was another version of this where someone takes the stitching out and they realize that right under the top layer of that wound, there's this gem, like a crystal, and they pull it out and it's just glowing, full of light. The wound instantly heals. And oh gosh, what was it representative of? I'm going to look it up real quick because I just want to get this right because I think it's important. And again, it's been since May, so I do not remember. Let me bring it up. Let's see. Oh, that's fine. Okay. Solar Flash and More was the title of this one. Okay. Okay. Seeing the sun, big arms or bands of plasma dancing around the sun. It's almost like they're pulling away and then getting sucked back in. And I'm hearing dance of magnetism. Okay, so then we have the dancer, right? So this heart fire energy hurtles forward into the space in front of them, drenches and shockwaves and bursts onto everything that it touches. It feels like a creative expression, like this is what the sun is doing. It is this wild, unbridled, unfettered, unharnessed expression of fire, heart fire, soul fire. It is this huge infusion of energy being thrust onto the planet. But the energy is also consciousness, awareness, remembering. It is remembering. It is remembering who you are and what your soul is made of, what you're capable of. Remembering abilities. It is shocking someone awake by dunking them in ice water, but like with the force of, ice water, but doing it like waking someone up, shocking them awake with this incredibly loving, powerful awareness. Like, here's all of the things you didn't see before. Yeah, I know. Here's all the things that you've forgotten or that have been hidden from you. And it's not specific information, it's just a sudden awareness. And then I was seeing ripping the stitches out of a wound so that you can see there is this sacred healing gem inside that people have been looking for all over the planet, and it is here inside of you. It's inside all of us, and it's been there all along. So that really brings us back to the witch wound, doesn't it? And stepping more into our abilities. I've been witnessing this in so many people who have been so afraid to kind of come out of the witchy closet, come out of the woo-woo closet, come out of the psychic closet. And there's just been this huge wave of people not even necessarily going through any kind of conscious process of healing, but just getting to this place where it's like, I don't care anymore. Like, I don't care if people don't understand me. I don't care if, whatever bad thing I used to be afraid was going to happen happens. Like, fuck all of that. Like, this is what I'm here to do. This is my magic that I got to come into the world with. Some people are musical prodigies. Some people bring forth art that stops you in your tracks and makes you cry your eyes out and feel something you didn't know you could feel. Some people make movies that transport you. Some people have a way of helping people cross over on their deathbed in a way that is just fucking art, like sacred art. We all have our gifts. These are mine, right? To be in a place energetically, collectively, where all of that support is here within us and around us and within the web of our connections to each other. Like, all of us here listening to this, all the people in the comments, all the likes, the thumbs up, the hearts you see, me, me, if you don't have anybody to talk to about this, come talk to me about it. All of the support of all of us. It's here. It's here, baby. It's like, it's time. And you know what? We need the healers, the seers, the oracles, the prophets, the whatever you call yourself. We need those people. we are going to move into a time within the next few years where we're going to be encountering a lot of stuff that people used to think was fantasy and myth. We're already seeing that happen with alien disclosure, UAP, UFO disclosure. And, you know, a lot of us are like, yeah, I don't need the fucking government to tell me that that's real. I've been in contact with them my whole life. I've had dreams about them my whole life. Or I just knew, right? Like if you've seen the Disclosure Day movie, the like final message was listen to the people who've been having these experiences for decades, if not longer. So, I mean, that's just one thing happening, that people are going to need somebody to turn to ask questions. And so if you can be the beacon in your life, for the people in your life, for the people in your town or your community or at your yoga studio or your wherever, or on your little slice of the internet, who people can go to and be like, I bet they know about this. I bet I could talk to them about this and they wouldn't think I was weird. I bet I could ask them what they know or what they think about this. I have seen that, you know, there's going to be a lot of shifts in religion coming up, and spiritual belief. Like a lot of people are going to start turning to meditation and just different forms of connecting with the divine, that don't need a mediating authority, where we remember that we can trust ourselves to be our own resonance meter of this is safe, this is not, this is divine, this is not of the highest light, or you know, this is truth, this is not the whole truth, whatever it may be. It is a return to inner authority, which we need and we cultivate through our own spiritual connection and practice. So we're going to need a lot of healers. We're going to need a lot of seers and guides and artists and mediums and communicators and messengers, and, you know, whatever your gifts are, we need you. You came into the world with these gifts for a reason. And I know what it is like to be afraid to share them, and to be afraid to share them fully, to like try and package them in a way that's more palatable, or to try and dim your own fucking light down so that you don't blind the people who come across it, who aren't ready for it, who aren't aligned to it. And honey, we're in a different time. We have never lived in a time like this, and we never will again. I mean, I think things are going to be looking a lot better over the course of our lifetime, over the course of the next like 20 years, after we go through this brouhaha that we're in right now, this kind of like death rattle of the dark, its last dying breath, sort of panicking and doing whatever it can to try and maintain some control and power. When that's over, things are really going to improve in every single aspect of life, and the planet. So it's time. It's time to step into that aspect of your soul self, to rub those little crusty bits off. And you start with just you. You don't start doing this in relationship with anybody else unless they feel fully fucking safe. You start at home, alone, where you're safe, where you can just explore and you can feel, and you can let whatever feelings and tears and words and movements and whatever needs to come out of you, you let it come out. Okay? You do that first. Well, let's ground first. And then let's do that. And then we get into that heart and we do our heart openers. And then you let that truth flow from you. You let those dreams that you've dreamt your whole life, you stretch, what was it? One arm back, one leg forward. From horizon to horizon, you touch all of those dreams that didn't feel like they were within reach before. They are within reach now. So you go get them. You go show the world how bright and beautiful you are. And you don't worry about being called weird or woo-woo or whatever the fuck, because the people who say those things, they just don't know it like you do, you know? That's just not their world, and that's okay. It doesn't have to be everybody's world. I love you so much. Thank you for tuning in with me. This has been our guidance for September and beyond. I would love to hear your reflections, insights, any moments you had where you were like, oh, that one's for me. That one's for me. And if you have not already, please do like and subscribe. I'll see you next week. Have a beautiful, beautiful September.